Hey guys, as usual, everything on this channel is for educational purposes only and is not intended as financial advice. This is going to be another altcoin extravaganza video. I'm going to look at every coin listed on on-chain FX. There's 70 plus of them. I'll post all the links in the video description. I'm going to make separate lists for setups in the video description that I'm looking at. I'm going to show you how to use the watch list on TradingView. So take a seat. This will be a long video. I will post links to timestamps to each coin in the video description. And as always, this video is made possible by Brave New Coin. Come for the articles written by me, stay for the articles and market data written and gathered by others. Brave New Coin. Okay, we'll start with BTC. It's not an altcoin, but it's number one on the list. You're going to see the same patterns emerge. I will call them cloud fractals, okay? You're going to see high time frame edge to edge starting on pretty much everything. Everything's correlated really well right now. So daily, you're going to see edge to edge. 12 hour, you're going to see Kumo breakouts, okay? That's basically what everything's going to look like. It's your job to differentiate between what you want to trade and what you don't want to trade. The other thing you'll notice is there's Adam and Eve's on virtually everything. For the alts, I'll look at the BTC and USD pairs. For Bitcoin, I'll add it to the list. I'm also handwriting this out just to give you some idea of my process. I'll handwrite this out and then I'll post it all together in a curated list, but it's BTC USD daily setup E to E. And if you don't know what that is, never heard of it before, basically the premise is when you see price breaking cloud resistance, it's already on here, you can expect with some high reasonable degree of certainty that it will eventually reach for the opposite edge of the cloud. This has a ton of caveats and a ton of other little things that need to go right, such as a bullish TK cross. You can see currently there's not a bullish TK cross here, there's a bearish TK cross. This decreases the probability that this will work out at the moment. It'll eventually still likely work out, but what I'm showing here is I'm wanting price to come down to this level. I don't think it will. What'll probably happen is that it will go sideways until we get a bullish TK cross or very near the bullish TK cross, and then it will make its move towards 12K, 13K. That's the mental trajectory I'm working with here. If you get fills down here, that's ideal. Once it's in the cloud, it usually stays in the cloud for a little while. You don't usually see this on Bitcoin where it spans the entire cloud in one candle on the high time frame like a daily. Certainly possible. But you'll notice how close it was to the bearish TK cross before that happened. The TK cross basically happened on that candle. Okay, so that's all the explaining I'm really going to do. I'm just going to say E to E or Kumo breakout for most of this stuff, just so I can get through it quickly. Hopefully we can do this in, I'm going to say under 20 minutes, but we'll see how well I can edit this together. So again, 12-hour Kumo breakout, that's what you want to see. Another thing about cloud, you'll notice the cloud itself is still red. You want that to be green. That's bullish, bearish. As far as the checklist is concerned, price above cloud, bullish cloud, we're not there yet. Bullish TK cross, we have that, and lagging span above cloud, above price. Now, what you'll notice in the coming weeks, as this flips bullish, that'll be just another confluence factor or evidence that we will move upward north in the bullish direction. Typically, it's best to wait until everything is bullish. You may miss out on, for instance, this move, but you're in, you're batting a double every time versus a home run some of the times. You got to think of it like that. If you're thinking like, I'm missing all this, I need to FOMO in. Okay, that's just where my head's at with Bitcoin. So, like I said, everything's correlating highly. Everything will sort of look like this. All right, let's move down. I'm going to go to Ethereum. And I have RSI on here as well. I'm looking for things like divergences or when you see three drives like this, that's another sign. we zoom back a little bit, 3 drives and overbought or oversold typically indicates that it's due for some relaxation of that. Okay, you could argue that there was some sort of inverted head and shoulders thing here. Whatever, I'm not really too into that. But again, edge to edge on daily, bearish DK, needs some time. Obviously, you've missed all this move here, which is why I like singled settings on the daily, and 12-hour doubled is basically daily singled. 12-hour doubled, yeah, is the same as daily singled. Yeah, that's right. As far as the settings are concerned, okay. And you can see here, boom, we have this edge to edge, which I traded, which I think a lot of people did. It worked out beautifully. It happened quickly. There were virtually no pullbacks. It happened almost as soon as this bullish TK cross occurred. Very important. Something I didn't really notice until later on, how important that was for those edge-to-edge trades to work out. So daily looks like it needs to go sideways or pull back a little bit. Ultimately 888, high probability move, thanks to ETE plus flat Kumo. Daily, again, same like Bitcoin. It's waiting on a few things. It's waiting on the lagging span in this case, and it's waiting on the cloud. To play around with the watch lists, I don't know if you need a pro account to just add a bunch of stuff to the watch list, but it allows you to, if you're cycling through all this stuff like I am, it allows you to add stuff and then look at it later versus trying to remember what you did. Okay, so we got ETH. Okay, let's check out this pair. I like Polo for this just because there's more data. It goes back, since wherever. We go to daily, and we're seeing this possibility of a Kumo breakout through the Kumo twist, something lots of people have talked about, including myself. This represents an area where support and resistance is negligible, and if there is momentum, price will likely try to shoot through that area. You'll notice there was a twist here. Price wasn't anywhere in the same universe as this twist was, okay? Don't expect it to reach for the twist if it's not somewhat close. What's another example? You can see here, there was an attempt. It got knocked down by the Kijun. All this looks like I'm 2020 hindsighting it, but keep this in mind as these things happen. Again, you're looking for this bullish TK cross to indicate upward thrust in bullish momentum through the twists. No divergences here. If we go down to the 12-hour, you can see we had an edge-to-edge situation still on its way to working out. Whether or not you want to consider this successful is up to you. Again, you're waiting for a bullish cloud. You're waiting for lagging span, price above cloud, so it's got a lot of time on it. It certainly looks like things have attempted to bottom. Another thing you'll see on these ETH or alt BTC pairs is an Adam Eve, basically between mid-March to early April, that they've sort of played out at this point. It's just more evidence that anything prior consolidation-wise has sort of ended. It's reached its targets and or hasn't. It is or it isn't at this point because we've already reversed so much, obviously. So that's ETH BTC. Nothing too flashy that I'm looking at there. Let's go to Ripple. Ripple has been interesting. Wow, I didn't even know that happened on Bitfinex. Nobody talked about that I saw. Down to 50 cents. Again, same thing. Look at the cloud fractal. Use the knowledge you know. What can you expect here? This is the daily doubled. Same story, edge to edge, waiting on the bullish TK. Adam Eve happened. We had this massive down move. Adam Eve happened. 12 hours should be showing what I'm talking about and everything else. Kumo breakout, waiting on cloud. Just XRP. Pretty much all these are going to look the same. Let's look at XRP BTC. And this video is less interesting now, but will become much more interesting in a few weeks when I watch this, rewatch this, and see if any of this actually happened together or not. The real question here is whether the consolidation will happen, or the correlation will continue, and things will keep moving together. Again, edge to edge daily, no div. You can see it attempted just like Bitcoin and got sort of knocked down. This is real messy for an edge to edge. You don't really see this too often. You know, it looked like it was going to go. It looks like things were fine. It pulled back to the QTUM. It's a good sign that it's supporting there. If it gets back in the cloud, then you'd expect it with reasonable certainty to reach like 12K-ish. The other thing about this, if we turn off all that, it's sort of back in this zone where it broke down. Let me shut that off. Where it broke down prior and where it sort of bounced from. So it's kind of in an interesting area where if it survives, it's going to likely move much higher to around 18K. I don't know. I don't think I hold any ripple right now. No div on this. But it looks good for continuation simply because of the daily cloud. If we go to the 12-hour, look at the cloud here, you can see this 12-hour cloud actually looks better than everything we've seen so far as far as bullish concerns. But the TK is crossing bearish, so the perfect entry here would be a bullish TK recross. That's as clean as you're going to see it. And that's the most bullish signal you're going to see on the cloud system. TK crosses that match price position on the cloud. And another thing you're seeing here is a bullish 5200 cross recently with price pulling back to the 200. So all this looks extremely bullish for the near future on Ripple BTC, which is tough for me to say out loud, but it's the truth. If we're just looking at charts and trying to stay neutral as far as things go, here is, let's look at STR. Again, I like Polo just because there's more data, not necessarily volume or liquidity, but there's cleaner data, I think. So this is a more bullish daily than anything else we've seen so far. Again, prices above cloud. Cloud is bullish, lagging span bullish, TK bullish. Not really sure where this sits. Let's look at it. You could argue cup and handle, maybe something like this. It's always tough when the handle's diagonal, but it looks like it's pulled back, to about 50%. Targets on this would be like 9K. If you look at Stellar's NVT ratio, interestingly enough, it's either super high or incorrect. Let me just check out what it's right here. Basically, when the when the NVT is super high, it just says it's overvalued based on that metric. Anyway, so it looks good for continuation on cloud. Again, everything's flipping bullish. Beautiful QTUM bounce here on the 12-hour. Again, that tells me the settings make sense. The settings are telling me what I want to see. I should be paying attention to the 12-hour over the daily just because it's capturing certain moves better. Always have bids on the QTUM when things are on the up and up. Overall, looks really good. There's even a smaller cup and handle here, depending on how you draw this. Fibs looks like it's pulled back. If it pulls back to like the 618, that's even more bullish. Yeah. So I expect this 5500 pretty easily. How's it look on the 2-day? Sometimes if I don't get an ETE or whatever on the daily, just because I'm always looking for targets, it's always interesting to see what it looks like on higher time frames. All right, nothing too fancy. Is there a USD pair on this? Just on TradingView. Same story. Looks super bullish. I'd expect it to keep going. Not necessarily at this level, but zooming way out, massive cup and handle, and then it's got a micro cup and handle here. So that looks good for continuation. Bcash I will begrudgingly look at. I will not be trading it, but let's take a look. If we go to, let's turn off this old Head and Shoulders, let's go to daily. Again, just like Stellar, things are looking bullish. It's on the daily, it's above everything. On the 2-day, it is going to hit some resistance on the cloud before doing God knows what for edge to edge. You can see how this looks not as clean, not just because it's Bitcoin Cash, just if we're chart neutral, because the edge to edge is sort of messier if you compare this just to the Bitcoin edge to edge, for example. You know, that one, the price is sort of near the bottom of the edge of the cloud and has a lot more room, better risk reward, you'd say, versus this. Doesn't mean you can't trade both or nothing, but that's just what I'm thinking in my head. And this looks extremely bullish, again, compared to everything that we're looking at. Let me just add XLM. STR, rather. Okay. I'm not going to trade this, but like everything else, it's looking bullish. You'd want bids down at the Kijun if you're trying to capture like the best entry, OTE or whatever. BCH, BTC. Bitfinex is usually fine for this. Again, 12-hour and daily. It's above the cloud for both. It is flagging. So this speaks to continuation. And then if we just fib this out a little bit, you can even go like way down here on like 2 hour or something. You're just looking for previous points where it blasted off and just fibbing from there. 0.2 maybe. I don't know, it's kind of a messy flag if that. Let me just double check this. Yeah, so you can see this ET played out already. The TK was a bit messy, but it was kind of there. EOS, super interesting, just complete rocket ship. Can't stand the project. You can rake me over the coals for that, I don't care. We zoom way out, again, similar to XLM, just a massive cup and handle. It doesn't match any of the rules of a cup and handle. You can rake me over the coals for that. The volume's not there. The daily RSI is basically in the stratosphere. But they are releasing a bunch of stuff soon. It's probably why people are buying on that. You can see how this has not turned bullish yet, but will on the next candle or thereafter. And traditionally, that's when you'd want to buy. But when it's this distance from the Kijun, you want to wait. That, again, none of this is investment advice. This is just based on learning the cloud. Cloud says it's really overbought based on distance from the mean. You probably expect it to pull back to 12.2 sometime before it goes on from there. And again, this RSI doesn't speak to like an immediate pullback, but it's troubling for just like where it is. Like there's better things you can trade, I think, just based on the TA. The FA says just hold this sucker till June or something, when it's probably going to dump on news, mainnet release, whatever. Again, 12-hour looks the same as pretty much everything else. This looks the most bullish out of anything so far, but you've obviously missed at most of the, if not all of this move at this point. And interesting how it sort of did the edge to edge very quickly and then regained momentum, pulled back a little bit, and then went for another large 3 drives. If you go to the 4-hour on this, you can see just how insane this has been. It has not pulled back to the Kijun this whole time. Just another concerning element of this being overbought if you're still in it. So you can add EOS to your watch list if you want. I'm going to shut the watch list off for now. EOS BTC. Haven't really looked at this one, but it looks almost the same on the 4-hour. On the daily, again, everything's super bullish. There's no entry here though. That's the problem. You know, your entries are way down here. Kijun, Kumo breakout. Another thing you'll start to notice as we get to these like mid and low caps, I was going to say stocks, coins, is that their edge-to-edge trades will look more similar to the daily Bitcoin, as in they're getting ready to go, versus EOS, which has already done this thing, blasted off. It's almost near all-time high for EOS BTC. It's got to be close for EOS Ethereum, which I've been watching. Yeah, way above all-time high at this point. Just a massive move. So anyone who sold their Ethereum for EOS, doing really well right now. Okay, let's go to ADA. Let's start at the USD pair. Sure, Tether. So I've been watching ADA for a long time, a few weeks now. Again, hate the project. Chart's the chart, whatever. There isn't much data on this on Bittrex, which is why you gotta go down on timeframes or use singled cloud. But just like everything else, Kumo breakout, bullish cloud. On balance, any entry here is going to be fine for the foreseeable future. Yes, you can probably get better entries. You can see how far it is from the Kijun at this point. You can see how lagging span isn't above the cloud yet. So it'll probably squirrel around at this level before it moves higher, but it looks poised for sure, just like everything else, to move higher based on the cloud signal metrics, okay? And you know, if you want to trade this stuff on lower time frames, you can. There was a massive Adam Eve here, which is basically why I got in somewhere around here. I'm out of it right now, but that's what I was watching on ADA, BTC, really, on Bittrex. Let's go back to this. The other reason I'm saying it's got massive upside, like, again, this edge-to-edge probably looks the cleanest out of any we've seen thus far. It's got a bullish decay. It's still relatively consolidation-ish at the bottom of the cloud. Entries down here would be better. This is where I got in. Yeah, so I entered a position basically around this level or lower, I can't remember, because of the Adam Eve. It reached its Adam Eve target. It's now in a E to E type of move with massive upside, basically retracing 50% of the entire down move. But your best entry is going to be here if it reaches here, so bids in this area with like a market buy at the current level. On balance, you're going to do fine over time with a stop at the Kijun. That's how the edge-to-edge trades work. And again, 12 hours just peaking out now. Kijun's relatively far away, but overall I think you're fine. I mean, you can see this, just this down move, it just Tenkin bounced all the way down and finally broke the Tenkin, indicating some sort of momentum in the opposite direction, and finally broke cloud. So we're starting to see these bullish things just pile up, right? If you look at 5200, also bullish recently for the first time. You know, it's going to miss all this. Death Cross, Golden Cross looks not too exciting right now, but if you trade these, this is what you want to see. You want to see the Golden Cross, you want to see price relatively close to the 200. All right, that's ADA. Let's go to Litecoin. Just did an article on Litecoin yesterday. I couldn't find too much in the development, fundamental type side of Litecoin. Not much going on. I'm sure there is on like their Slack or something, but I couldn't find anything. Their roadmap is outdated, so they could do themselves a favor by getting some PR type stuff for them. This is maybe the weakest edge-to-edge out of anything we've seen so far, but it's got a case for it to 200 plus. If you look at 2-day, 227 looks good eventually. This isn't too clean overall. The cleanest thing here is probably this case for this Adam Eve or Adam Steve, whatever you want to call it, situation. I won't be trading Litecoin. I think there's better things, better R&R, more convincing setups. But the bullish case is there. It's just not as convincing as other stuff. And the 5200 on the 12 hours still bearish. Dash. Haven't looked at this one in a while. Let's do Polo for that. Daily doubled. Okay, and again, same thing. Edge to edge on the daily. Doubled. Looks good. Daily singled. Sort of meandering through the cloud. Targets for Dash 767 or 930. This looks better than most of the stuff we've looked at. Certainly better than Litecoin, just from a setup perspective. Very similar to everything though. Again, everything's correlating highly. You got this Adam Eve thing. You got this shoulder, head, shoulder thing, which pretty much everything looks like. Nothing new or exciting there, but setup is real. Let's go to Bittrex for this and go to daily. And this edge to edge looks nice to 062 basically. Somewhere between 062, 66666, something like that. This chart is in a massive consolidation for it looks like a year, right? Just like this whole zone is just indicative of continuation. Anytime you see a flag or a setup like this, you can either nibble on the bottom of the range or just wait for the breakout above the top of the range, which is probably closer to here. But very obvious flag. This is probably going to go high. 017 maybe, which is just a monster of a move compared to where it is now. Another thing you could argue for is a diamond top, which is what I'd like to see because I don't like Dash, but you know, the setup is there. I think for the bullish case, the cloud on the lower time frame certainly looks good. The problem with Dash is it's manipulated by Bitmain and Roger, and it's got the marketing budget the size of Ghana's GDP basically, so it's got issues, but the chart looks pretty decent for continuation throughout 2018. We'll see what happens. Let's go to Dash USD. I don't think I looked at that one. Yeah, sure. Let's go to daily. And again, oh yeah, I did. 767. Okay. So hopefully at this point you realize what an edge to edge is and what you're looking for. You're looking for that bullish TK before blast off. Let's go to Neo. Bitfinex. Similar to Litecoin, the edge to edge potential is there, but it is not as clean as everything else. You know, the move, much of this move already happened on lower time frames, and kind of like ETH, it's headed for flat Kumo 95. Very clean levels though here, 95, 110, 131, just like this. Anytime you see ledges like this, very obviously there's some sort of fib from something, from just trying to match these up to something. I don't know what it is, like I don't really care, but that's why I do cloud, because I can't do fibs. Again, this ETE had a bullish TK cross. It attempted to move towards the Kijun. When things are in the cloud, it's always sort of crapshoot at the trajectory. You just know that at some point it's gonna reach for this 95 level. If after it breaks out the 95 level, you're looking at 110, 130 pretty easily as far as resistance levels are concerned, just horizontals. Low time frame looks good. I don't know if they have any fundamental news coming up. Neo BTC, we'll do Bittrex. Daily does not excite me. I do not want to go long in this pair or short or anything. Just a mixed bag. Pretty much everything's bearish except lagging span. On the daily, 12 hours got an edge to edge with a decent probability of 0.01. You can see it basically bounced on the bottom of the Kijun, or cloud on the bottom of the Kijun is what you want to see. These edge to edge trades. At this point, this video has been a clinic on edge to edge trades. This is pretty high probability, 0.01. Whether or not the setup is as convincing as some of this other stuff, I don't know, but it looks good for that target. It's tough to say when, I mean, it always looks real messy when it looks like this, just because it's not as clean as that ETH edge to edge, which just sort of drifted up and happened. So I always get hesitant trading this setup because after it sort of moved and then didn't, I always get concerned when things don't look clean, but the entry looks clean for that. Okay, let's go to Tron, something I will never trade. Way too many manipulated, too many weak hands in Tron. I'm okay with losing money by not trading Tron. There are plenty of other things to trade. All right, 12 hour, you have to go way down on this because there's just not enough data to do high time frames. Very clearly had a flag, falling wedge, whatever you want to call it here. That's breaking out now. targets are, so when you draw fibs for flags, you just want to go for one consolidation to the next. So if this was the previous consolidation zone, you just make that your horizontal for the bottom, and then you go to the top. So we're looking at 99, what is this, USD? 9 cents, 9.095, something like that. This kind of looks like EOS USD does before it moved, where it sort of chilled at its high. You can see you're getting some bearish div on this. Yeah, I mean, I won't be trading it, but it looks good for continuation. Check out the BTC pair. Again, some div on this. And yeah, this is what I'm talking about with manipulation. It's not for me. Flag moved up, good. Cloud looks good. I mean, there's no real entry here for me. Your entry would have been sort of a break of these consolidation zones. And one way to do that would be to turn on fractals. Whenever you're not sure, when you see all these wicks, just like on EOS, you just wait until these fractals just keep forming. You know, you're getting higher lows, you're getting lower highs. When it breaks one of those, you're good to go. And it broke up, so that's what it's trying to tell you. Let's go to Zeke, which has not been above its daily moving average 200 ever. When it does, that's when I'll start trading it. Until then, it's not for me. Pretty convincing edge-to-edge setup. Again, you're waiting for a bullish TK cross. Targets don't tell that guy on Twitter. 486 pretty easily, just based on the edge-to-edge and flat Kumo rather. Let's see how it looks on 12 hour. Need some time on 12 hour, but on balance, any buys between 270 and 290 with a target of 486 looks pretty real. Zeke, and let me just turn this on because it's hilarious for Zeke BTC. We'll go, let's go to Polo. The big problem with this is it dropped so far and kept dropping that it's sort of trying to average in all of this, but it's still convincing enough where it's attempted 3 times, 4 times, and hasn't. Okay, when it gets above, and we can talk about it for real. Yeah, even the 5200, not even close. So you know, if you're buying here, it's a hope and a prayer. There's a case for an Adam and Eve. Not an unconvincing edge-to-edge setup, sort of a middling edge-to-edge setup on 12 hours. So there's better things to trade. Just set an alert. So if you want to talk about alerts real quick, just set an alert for the 200 on the daily for Zeke. Until then, you can just forget it exists, in my opinion. Let's go to XMR. XMR is interesting because it is pretty messy as far as it's got clean zones for consolidation and then markup, but in its current state, it's just a garbled mess. So you wouldn't expect anything on low time frames to show you to move into this. Much like BTC and everything else, you're seeing this giant Adam Eve pattern, which looks real enough to me. Any entries would have to be above this level on volume, which you're not seeing yet. You're seeing this just descending volume. So you want to see a pop and something here that's convincing. It looks good for up over the next several months, but not anything I want to play with at this level. Cloud backs that up. Again, edge to edge, not much upside. Bearish TK, nothing I want to mess with. And much like many of these other alts, it's waiting on a 12-hour cloud to flip. Signal-wise, go to XMR BTC, we'll go to Polo. So it looks like I have a massive pitchfork on this. These are the points, like 2014. Man, it's got a nice trend. It's just so messy, so herky-jerky. There are only a few days where it moves up and then it just fades every time. On balance, this zone has been a good buy. So I don't know. Again, nothing I want to mess with. I like Monero fundamentally better than most things. Until they get hardware wallet support, though, I can't hold on to it because I just can't hold on to it. Hold it in an exchange, at least to the quantity I want to buy. So yeah, no, it looks fine, but nothing I want to mess with. The cloud should back that up. Yeah, I mean, you can see just how different this looks compared to everything else we've looked at. There's no edge to edge. There's no. It's just a complete mess, an absolute mess. It's like a dog runs through your kitchen with a bag full of garbage. I mean, it's going somewhere, but oof, yeah, I don't know. I'm done talking about Monero. There's really not much to say. It's just a mess. All right, IOTA, complete trash project. You can deny that in the comments. I don't care. Let's look at IOTA. Yeah, not much to say. On the USD pair anyway. Overall, a middling type of edge to edge. It's got a nice upward potential to $3. It looks good for up. I'm not going to trade it, but looks better than most things do on 12-hour. I'm going to stay away from it. Let's look at the BTC pair. Only on Binance. Brought to you by Binance. Daily. Yeah, nothing I want to mess with. 12-hour looks okay, but again, if you're not in on these QTUM bounce-ish moves, it's kind of a non-trade for me, just because there's better things. Let's go to ONT, something I have no idea what it even is. I've seen the symbol plenty of times. Only on Binance. And you gotta go way down on timeframes for this because there isn't enough data. And nothing I really want to trade, but if it gets a bullish TK cross above cloud, that is a continuation signal for sure. As far as where it might go, whatever that is, 9,500 sats. That's probably what the level it's looking at. A little bit less than a 2x from here. Nothing that excites me. ETC. Go to Bitfinex for that. Daily, again, super noisy. Certainly potential for edge to edge. It's got this Adam Eve thing. Targets would be $30. $9 from here. Let's check this Bittrex. Nothing too exciting. Certainly has some edge to edge potential on low time frames. I think buying here is fine on balance, but other more exciting setups, like I keep saying with other things. ICX, which I have no idea. Is there even a USD pair? Okay. Not enough data. Going down to 6 hour. Certainly bullish. Again, you want to buy these at the QTUM bounce, not at the Tenkan bounce if you can help it. They will eventually pull back to the Tenkan. You can see you're getting a div for sure on here. Bear div. Higher high in price, lower high in momentum. Again, better setups elsewhere. Yeah, not too much to say about that pair. Binance, ICX, BTC. Nothing too exciting. Certainly looks bullish for trend-wise, but not a buy at this level for me. Let's check out XEM. We'll go here. Polo. XEM, nice case for a pretty decent-sized move up through the edge to edge, waiting on this bullish TK cross. This is probably the cleanest of the edge to edge setups, just because it's not yet in the cloud and the TK cross is not yet bullish. I'm gonna write this one down too. Daily, and it's got pretty massive upside to like $1.20, $1.12. I know nothing about the project. other than the petrodollar is on XEM. That's USD. Probably looks pretty decent on this as well. Let me just check 12-hour. Yeah. Again, you're seeing like this slow but sure action. Cloud is bullish, price isn't yet above the cloud, lagging span bearish. So these are the types of setups that I watch for the entry. You know, you can see very clear downtrend, very clear bear cloud, very clear Tenkin bounce, Kijun bounce, and then it's, you know, edge to edge, and then the bigger moves are always, you know, after it figures out what it's going to do as far as the trend is concerned. So this looks pretty decent actually on USD. XEM BTC, let's go to Polo. Same thing, decent setup here. Adam Eve, like I keep saying on everything. You're looking for volume. You might not see it on Polo just because it's Polo and nobody trades there anymore, and anybody who does has a miserable blanking blank experience. It's kind of sad to see what's still happening with Polo. It's going to take some time for Circle to fix that mess, but anyway, end rant. Yeah, this looks really good for a nice move, a 2x at least. Okay, maybe a little less than a 2x, but the move is there. You know, it's got chart patterns, it's got cloud signals, it's got all the right ticks the right boxes for me. Let's go to Venn. Don't know what this is either. On Binance, shocker, and hopefully you can just see immediately that this setup, compared to everything else, the R&R is not there compared to everything else. The risk reward, you know, it's already moved. You don't want to enter when it's already moved. The train has left the station. The rocket ship has left Earth's orbit. You know, you want to buy on the Kijun bounce, obviously, but nothing I want to trade. And whenever it's only on Binance, I always get suspicious. Let's see. Yeah, bearish TK cross, so your re-entry would be a bullish TK cross. And the target being 49.2k sats, and then 62. But again, there's much more interesting setups elsewhere. Nothing I want to trade. Let's check out Lisk. No USD pair. Interesting. You know, you can always wait. What is the symbol for Lisk? LSK. That's why. Okay. What I was gonna say with USD, you can always calculate it. TradingView has done a good job of actually doing this for you now. Let's go to Polo. I don't really go to Polo for the volume. I just go for the data. I just know there's more data. What did I have on here? Must have been a low time frame thing. And it looks like it was before the move up, so that's good. There's a pretty decent risk reward here. It's got a lot of uncertainty though until the, you know, there are different shades of ETE, right? E2E. This is like the least compelling. It's pretty far away. It's not, you know, the span of the cloud isn't too big yet. I think it's got some time on it. 12-hour probably says the same. Yeah, I mean, 14.1, 21.2. Those are the zones I'd be looking for. The entry here looks okay, but I'm going to leave it alone. Let's look at the BTC pair. Super interesting. You're getting a failed edge-to-edge, pretty much stopping you out. Don't see that all the time. Again, just not a compelling entry for me. I don't know what that was. That must have been from a while back. Very much like XMR, just like a complete mess all the way up. Very messy. Hard to trade this because it's not in a trend. Just on balance, I mean, this is just gross, but whatever. All right, gas. Neo gas. Pretty decent EDE, just immediately looking at it to 56. You're waiting for this bullish TK cross. Same story, different coin. And again, same story on the 12-hour, just like everything else. You're waiting on those cloud metrics. Gas BTC, not a very compelling edge to edge. Again, just there's better things to trade. It looks fine for up, but you're waiting on a lot of things, whereas other coins look ready to go currently. Let's go to SIA. We'll go to Polo. Interesting moves there. How nice is that? You got your you can see that obviously this has already happened, but you got your edge set up with the bullish TK cross. Got denied a few times in the cloud, and then it took off. So how you want to trade this is tough, because you're not really getting any clean entries as far as the edge is concerned on the daily. Same thing here. You're getting Kumo breakouts, bullish cloud. This is why you want to hold things when they look like they're ready to go, and not be worried about stops in general. Just because it can take time, or you can just go. I don't really know. There's no rhyme or reason, but this obviously, just like I said, was something else. The train has left the station. Nothing I want to get into here. Probably looks the same on the BTC pair. You can see just the beautiful. This is what you want to see for these edge-to-edge trades. And I've said this before, but on the alts, they happen much quicker. The targets usually, in one candle. You're seeing consolidation, bullish TK. It looks like it's just a hot pile of garbage, right? And then, for no reason other than somebody market bought a bunch of coins or whatever it is, it just shoots up and reaches it. Not only reaches its target, but it way overshoots it. So it 2x very, very quickly. So nothing I want to get in here. Yeah, I mean, it was nice if you were in it, obviously, but I wasn't paying attention to it. All right, STEEM. Speaking of hot pile of garbage, let's check out STEEM. The Dan Larimer special. Let's go to Polo. Oops, let's go to Polo. Okay, pretty convincing edge to edge. Again, it's in the cloud. You have a bullish TK, pretty decent upside. To like 5 probably from here. It could squirrel around all the way in here. Again, what I keep saying, you want the entries to be close to the Tenkin or the Kijun at the bottom of the cloud. You can see how far up it is. That doesn't mean it can't just keep going, but it will likely, more than likely, just like squirrel around or retrace a little, and then something like this, where it'll, who knows what this looks like, but that's going to be the eventual target. And 12 hours probably showing a Kumo breakout, yeah. And you can see how far away it is from the Kijun here, so it'll probably pull back before it just goes in a straight line. So, looks okay, nothing I want to trade at the moment. Let's check the BTC pair, and same story. Edge to edge wasn't very compelling to begin with, but you do have the bullish TK. Let's go to a high time frame just because there's a lot of data here. And I always like to zoom way out and just see if there's anything here. So 5200 bullish cross coming up on the daily. It looks like there's some sort of thing here. I don't know. Very messy. Not that I want to trade. Again, no clean trends, pretty much. Very quick movements and then just slow bleeds. Quick, slow, relatively. It may see a massive breakout to back up here, but I don't know. Nothing I want to sit in anyway. Better stuff to trade chart-wise. Let's look at Omise Go! Man, people really did not like when I said OMG was a silly ticker. But whatever it is. Especially if you're trading in America, where you know what OMG means. Oh my gosh. Or God. Who doesn't exist. Okay. So high time frames, much like Dash and XMR and a few other things, just messy. If you catch the waves, obviously you're doing well. Cloud looks fine. It's bullish, but it's kind of too messy to really take seriously. This already happened. Yeah, not really much to say. Not anything I want to sit in at the moment. Let's look at BTC pair. And trend looks okay for up. Entry suboptimal. There really wasn't ever a clean entry on this for cloud. Yeah, just nothing I want to mess with. Let's look at BTM. Don't know what this is. Bitmark. And pretty decent sized edge-to-edge move, potentially. Again, you're waiting for this bullish TK cross. You can see it perfectly got denied the Kijun. Always interesting to see that when the cloud knows things before they happen. This setup overall looks good enough to watch because price is near the bottom. Again, you're looking for this risk reward, right? If you go along here, and let me just fix this, 0.64, you know, you're eventually the Kijun's gonna flip around, so your risk reward's 23. So that's definitely worth watching. Same story, different coin, edge to edge. Now you can see very clearly that this looks different than OMG or this other crap that we've been flipping through, right? All right, BTM, BTC. I'm not even gonna look at lower time frames for that just because that's so convincing on that time frame. The fact that it's only on Polo worries me. Maybe fundamentally this is not a sound coin to trade. Jesus. Someone will have to give me a heads up on that. What is going on with this? That is a mess, man. But historically, here's the bottom. Here's the top. So it looks like a buy based on that. I'll have to look into it a little bit more if I want to really enter here. But much like Doge, you know, you buy the historic low, you sell the historic top, you're going to do okay. Massive upside potential for this. Interesting, very interesting. I'll check it out. Probably not worth entering. Typically, so I use on-chain because on-chain FX because it's a curated market cap list that the guy knows what he's doing. So typically, if it's on here, it's not complete trash, like some of the stuff listed on CoinMarketCap. Anyway, let's go to QTUM. This is Ledger's Brian. Brian likes this one. Let's go to daily. Again, a better. God, I hate this. Okay, a better setup for this edge to edge. Adam, Eve, waiting on the bullish DK at the bottom of the cloud. Again, if you draw this out, you're looking at bullish on coins ending in TM. What is this? 18.5. No, an R&R of 11, which is insane. Anything above like 2 to 4 is insane for me. You know, it'll probably pit stop around 25.5, but it looks solid for a giant move upward. I'm gonna write this one down. Just waiting on that bullish TK cross. Another thing you can do, just to show you a little bit more about alerts for cloud specifically, if I'm waiting on this bullish TK cross, I can say converging line crossing baseline once per bar, create a alert, and then should be, yeah, there it is. So you know, set it and forget it, basically makes it easy. And 12 hours should be starting to see a again, just like all this other stuff, Kumo breakout potentially coming up. QTUM BTC, a little less compelling for moves up. but it's got the bullish TK. Again, you can see how this looks vastly different than all the other edge edges we're talking about on even the USD pair. And same thing here, 12-hour getting ready for a Kumo breakout. So QTUM looks pretty good. ZIL, no idea what this is at all, like never heard of it. Only on Binance, brought to you by Binance. And yeah, nothing I want to get into now. No pattern, no flag, no falling wedge. Cloud says whatever. It's probably going to pull back to 903 sats before it does anything. Yeah, I don't know. Not for me. Stay out of that one. DCR. Let's go to Polo. Decred, yeah, I was going to say, made some move the other day. So again, that train's left the station and sort of crashed in orbit. Yeah, nothing, I don't even know. That's just an ugly, ugly hypodermic needle right there. It's like a dirty used needle that, you know, all these holders are now community members who've got the DCR equivalent of AIDS, whatever it is. Yeah, that's ugly. If I was holding onto that, you know, I mean, the trend looks okay, like it's the beginning of something, but man, that looks just so pump and dumpish. Let's just look at this on a low time frame. Yeah, that's gross. Looks like somebody manipulated the ever-living F out of the book. Something. Yikes. Yeah. I don't even know what to say, but I'm staying out of that one for now. Needs to chill. You know, why trade something that's already moved when there's other things that haven't? That's basically my viewpoint on it. Yeah, it's just as ugly on the BTC pair. It's like the book was empty or something and somebody fat fingered like 25 Bitcoin. I don't know. Gross. Not for me. Look at MAID. MAID, yeah, decent edge to edge. Looking pretty good. It's sitting near the bottom of the cloud. R&R 7. Looking like it's going to go to 0.78. Pretty good. MAID BTC on the daily. Needs a higher time frame. Again, you're seeing this Adam Eve situation a little less compelling compared to other things. Edge to edge less compelling compared to other things. Eventually it's going to do 9200 sats. Super messy. Probably the most messy thing I've seen. Messiest thing. Just moving up time frames here. Yeah, it's one of these old coins with like tons of messy data that just messes the cloud. I mean, if you're going to hold it for like 6 months to a year, it's probably fine to buy here. You're just because you're buying historic lows, but there are better things you can trade. There's plenty of upside, but better things I think you can get into. Bitcoin Gold, interestingly enough, looked really good the other day, like last week. I didn't enter it because I'm stupid, but and biased. Yeah, inverted hammer on the weekly, another inverted hammer on the 3-day. It doesn't have much data, so you kind of got to play around with it. For this one, things have already moved, so it's kind of like, again, there are better things to trade. I don't know if it's going to reach 200 again, but that's where it's headed. This edge actually looks pretty good. It just like gives me like gagging reflex thinking about longing this piece of crap, but the same story, different coin, edge to edge setup, looks pretty good. It's at the bottom of the cloud, waiting on the bullish TK cross. 12 hours again. Like, I've showed this enough at this point. You should know exactly what to do here. Downtrend, TK rejections, Kijun rejections, bearish TK recross below cloud, and down she goes. And finally, we're seeing something. And let's check out the BTC pair. Let's go to Trex. 12 hour looks the same as the USD pair. BTC pair again looks the same as the USD. Giant upside here. I don't know if this is real. we'll see. You know, like I said, we'll watch this in a week or whatever and see what happens. But we're looking at 0.16 as a level, so basically 2x from here. And you're waiting on this edge to edge. Nice R&R. You know, I'm a broken record at this point, but that's what you're waiting for. Doge, baby. The real Doge. Doge USD, which I've looked at maybe once in my life. Very nice. I forget which coin it was, if it was SIA or I think it was SIA. You know, SIA, this is what SIA looked like before it broke out, right? Edge to edge. Again, the bullish TK cross isn't there, but it's coming. Price is near the bottom of the cloud. Looks like it's just sort of doing a bunch of nothing, right? But it will reach for this 1 cent level. Something like a 2x. So Doge USD, pretty bullish on. It's in the cloud, looks pretty good. Edge to edge, very similar to everything else. Doge BTC, on the other hand, I like to just turn off the cloud and watch it on the weekly. It's super clean. Pumps and fades, pumps, fades, pumps, fades, pumps, fades, pump or fade here, I don't know. Sell it, what is it? List it or flip it or whatever. You know, you're buying down here, you're selling up here. Don't overthink it, but it looks pretty good. I wouldn't buy any here based on the BTC pair, but the USD pair looks pretty good. Let's look at Binance coin. Going on an hour. I'm feeling it. A little fatigued, not gonna lie. Binance coin looks fine for trend, but nothing I want to get into here at this level. Let's go to BNB BTC. Same thing here. Trend looks okay. Nothing I want to get in on this level. Maybe a cup and handle here. Cup handle bounce on the 618. Super bullish. Targets 2300 sats basically. Your entry would be a break of the horizontal. Yeah, if you even want to measure this higher, something like that. So you'd be trading a break of 18.5 and 23 to 2400 would be your target on the Binance coin. Doesn't look too exciting to me at the moment, but setup is there. DGD, they have a massive ICO, by the way. Immediately you can see nothing I want to trade, nothing you want to trade. Maybe you do want to trade it. I don't know. The 12-hour edge to edge is certainly there. It looks good. It's winning the cloud, failed, pulled back, bullish TK cross, blah blah blah. $400, just super messy though. I don't know. Nice scoop here. Scoop de shoop de whoop. 400. That'd be my target if I was going long on that. I'm gonna stay out of it just because it's God knows what it is other than a massive ICO. BGD BTC only on Binance. Yeah, nothing too compelling. You're getting bearish cross below cloud. This is probably gonna go lower before it goes higher, just based on the cloud signals. The cloud says it's going down, folks. Another reason just to leave it alone. Our chain, which I'm actively holding. Be prepared for some super biased TA. What the hell? Oh, that's right. It's on KuCoin. I can't actually look at that chart. I'm just in it for the fundamentals. It's got parts of Vlad Zamfir's Casper whatever crap. Yeah, I don't know. It's going somewhere, hopefully. Not too concerned. Populous. Populous looks like it moved and it head and shouldered / flagged. Your entry would be a bullish TK cross above the cloud there on the 6 hour. Pretty decent case for 66, 67. Not too much history though, so tough to really be convincing on that. Cloud looks pretty good. It's above cloud, bullish cloud, so that's a confirmed reversal breakout on PPT USD. Nothing I want to touch at the moment, and the BTC pair looks pretty good. Just not enough data. I don't trade on Binance, I never will. You can get at me in the comments for that, but yeah. Let's look at USD Verge. Oh man. Yeah, this is another one just like Tron. I'm just not going to touch it. Too manipulated. It's uncompelling compared to everything else we've looked at. On the USD side. On the BTC side, same story. It already attempted to leave orbit, crash back down to Earth on that adoption news. Yeah, just a pile of junk. Not for me. ZRX, again, I'm super biased. I hold this actively. I think it's going to go to $1 million. I don't really care what the chart looks like until it's listed on Coinbase. Daily looks, or 12 hour looks good. Daily is not enough data for the cloud to see it, but everything's bullish, so trend says we're good. You can see there's an Adam Eve situation down here. Adam Eve and breakout. Anytime you see that with the Kuma breakout, it's just even more evidence that things are good to go. Train looks like it may have already left the station for ZRX, but I think it's going to double digits, if not triple digits. We shall see. Massive buy volume coming in here on Bitfinex a few days ago. Okay, let's look at the BTC pair. Been on Polo for a minute, and it's always driving me nuts. Okay, it's super herky-jerky messy, but again, I don't really care because I think it's going places, baby. If you're looking for targets on this sucker, based on technicals, you'd say 27, 28K sats. Again, it's above the cloud. Looks good. Probably want to wait for pullback if you're not already in. Somewhere around 10K sats as far as entries are concerned. Yeah, not much to say. I'm in it. So if you're not, sucks for you. Alright, Gnosis. USD 12 hour again looks the same as a lot of this other stuff. You can see its position waiting on bullish TK or bullish cloud. Kuma breakout. Potentially pretty decent sized edge to edge here. Let's move this up. And the reason I'm moving this R&R stop level is just to the bottom of the cloud. 10 basically, so pretty decent. Let's write this one down. GNO, Girls Night Out. Alright, and so yeah, 268 from 113, so nice 2x from there. GNO BTC, Bitrex. Immediately I can see it's uncompelling as far as cloud's concerned. Just some weird volume. Maybe this will get added on Coinbase too? I don't know. Don't really know anything about it. RSI is whatever. No real Adam Eve to speak of. You know, you can buy historic low, sell recent local high. I don't know. Doesn't look too compelling for anything really on this BTC pair, but the USD pair looks good. Loop ring. I don't think this one's on here either. Maybe it is. Oh, it is. Okay. Oh, it's on Bitfinex. Yeah, anytime it's only on Bitfinex or only on Binance, I always get super suspicious just of manipulation. Yeah, not enough data or liquidity. When did this get listed? Oh, this was just listed. Yeah, I don't know anything about this. It's been a Bitrex though. Let's check out the daily. Okay, maybe not. Let's check out the 6 hour. Yeah, it's just a fresh listing. It's a fresh PND. I don't know. I mean, this is like a buy and hold thing if you know about the project, but it's nothing I want to trade. Yeah, I don't know anything about it. Not for me. Maker. I've been warming to these Maker. It's not on here. Is it DAI? So I think DAI is the thing for, so DAI is the PEG. So Maker is another stable coin. The PEG is DAI. The like security share of DAI is Maker. I like it. I don't know where to buy it. You can check that out at your leisure. But yeah, it's another stable coin. We'll see if anything comes of it. BitShares, another Larimer special. This one's got 1 million years of data, so let's use it. Turn off cloud for a second, and kind of a mess. It kind of looks like it's got this like channel situation going on. Just immediately nothing I want to get into based on that. But on lower time frames, pretty decent setup for edge to edge, 56 cents. So at least a double, 2x from here. You can see this one looks a little different than the others, or similar to some. Again, it's in the cloud, but the key June is pretty far away. The cloud is pretty far down. So your stops for these will be somewhere in here, 16 to 20 cents, with your target around 56 cents. Ultimately, it's probably going to reach somewhere up here, though. I don't think you can actually trade the pair BTS USD. It would be BTC, and it has a bit of a middling edge-to-edge trade. You can see that you got a pretty decent entry here if you were paying attention. Bullish TK. Targets of 4K sats, 3,700. Another strategy would have been buying the historic low-ish and just holding on. What does this look like on weekly? It's got this massive W. So, if it breaks this level, it's probably going higher. So you just set an alert for that, and don't look at it again. All right, and let's go to SNT. Status US dollar. Adam Eve situation immediately. W, very nice, but it's over with. You can see probably one of the most massive setups for this. Oops, don't want that there. Okay, so your entries here, your stops here. You can see I'm jumping the gun on this as far as the entry is concerned, but 12 R&R. Yeah, I don't know anything about it, but looks pretty compelling for bull trend to begin for the first time in its existence. And that would be your targets. Either that edge-to-edge target, the flat Kumo that's starting on the daily, or these ledges like 32 to 42. So I'm just gonna write down SNT, and you can add an alert for this. Ichimoku lead 1 crossing Ichimoku lead 2, and that's that. SNT BTC. I was looking at it for some reason. No idea. Whatever this was. Yeah, again, ETE setup. It's definitely tradable. Looks pretty decent. So it's somewhere between 2.5 and 2.8. So yeah, worth keeping an eye on that one. Let's go to Nano. If I can even chart it. Okay, Binance. Not much data. Historic low. Buy here, sell later. Setup-ish for the move to 11. Nah, just I don't know. It's there, but it's not as compelling as some of this other stuff. If you're in it currently, I wouldn't be worried, but if you're not, I'm probably not going to just leave it alone. Let's go to Bittrex, DGB. Now DGB has a lot of data, I think. Yeah. So DGB has some data here, similar to whatever I was just looking at. STEEM? No, BitShares. Something. Where it had this like just crazy herky-jerky situation. Pretty decent setup for edge-to-edge to 08. So it's like the train is on the tracks, fueled and slowly starting to move. You know, like that first like ch 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 ch, like the beginning. Okay, that's where we are in DGB. Looks like it's okay. I'm probably gonna leave it alone, but I don't know if you can even trade the USD pair. BTC. Yeah, very similar to BitShares. You know, it's got this giant W, it's near historic low, it looks like it's starting to shift. the trend looks okay. You're going to want to buy the pullback, though. I think this is a little too overbought, and you're getting a bear div on RSI. So no surprise there. Again, better setups. I'd rather trade something else. Zen, never heard. Well, I've heard of it. Don't know what it is. Don't care. Daily, yeah, ETE not as compelling as most other things. 12-hour looks okay for a trend, but nothing I want to enter right now just based on the distance from the Kijun. Zen BTC. I mean, if it escapes, you know, if it reaches escape velocity, you might see price discovery mode, which is just, you know, free ball in it, where it just rocket ship with unlimited amount of fuel, basically. But nothing I want to be in at the moment. You can always just set alerts for like this level or this level or whatever. But okay, fine. I'll set an alert for this. We'll add an alert, and we're good to go. Let's go to. So what were we just on? Oh, I skipped a couple. Let's go to Zcoin. Sorry. XZC, EUSD, XZC, and you can't actually trade this pair, but pretty decent case for the edge to edge, just like everything else. And decent setup for the edge to edge. Definitely not triggering yet. You know, the upside isn't really there. Just a mess of a pair, really. I'm not going to touch that or think about it ever again. HSR. H share only on Binance. Yeah, this is real. Totally real, guys. Give me a break. Yeah, nothing I want to touch. The trend looks good for up, but yeah, I'm just gonna leave it alone. AE Eternity. Don't even know. Oh, there it is. And that train clearly left the station. Not for me. Pretty decent entries as far as pullbacks to Kijun, but not much more to say about that one. May reach escape velocity with all-time highs, but I'm gonna leave it alone. PIVX, interesting coin. Let's go to the daily. Again, edge setup to 9.5. You can't actually trade that pair though, so let's check this. Edge exists, a bit of a mess. Not as compelling as some of these other setups. I mean, when it eventually does something, it's going to go somewhere, but it might not be this year. Nothing I would just want to sit in at the moment. STRAT, I think the STRAT was moving the other day. Can't trade the USD pair, but let's take a look. Very similar to some of this other stuff. It's just, you know, middle of the road, not too compelling on high time frames. Lots of range here. You can't trade this, but you can't trade the pair, but it looks like it's headed to 13, so we're double 2x from here. Strat BTC is where you want to look. And you're getting a pretty compelling setup, but the R&R not too huge. Something worth taking a look at. I'm going to set an alert this time for crossing, sorry, Ichimoku crossing the lead one. So lead one is the green line, I think, and that's lead two, as far as the nomenclature on TradingView is concerned. All right, that's Strat. Let's go to BAT. BAT moved a lot because there's some talk of it getting listed on the old Coinbase. 12-hour, more bullish than most things because it's already out of the cloud. It's got its bullish TK lagging span, blah, blah, blah. The daily, not enough data. Let's go to BAT BTC. So as far as trend is concerned, it looks good. Bullish direction. Let's go to Bittrex for this, and it's sort of already done its thing. Looks okay for up eventually. I'd just be looking to break that level. Again, I'm not like overthinking any of this. Crossing, good. And don't look at it again until that happens. You can see just a massive W, whatever you want to call it. But the upside on this is probably insane if it gets listed, but that's just speculation. KNC was moving the other day, and I mean, yeah. Here's why we trade these flat Kumos, folks. You can see it hit it and then pulled back. It's okay, so you might think I'm crazy when you're watching this for the first time, never seen any of this before, but these are the targets for a reason. They typically hit and then chill. They don't usually overshoot by a lot like SIA did, but they usually hit, relax, and then reconsolidate in some fashion. Can't trade that pair anyway, but let's go to the Bitcoin pair. And I mean, yeah, this isn't anything. I don't know what this is. Again, it's Binance. As far as I'm concerned, everything on Binance is just super manipulated, rolling PND. Yeah, you can trade it, you can make a lot of money, but I don't know up from down on that exchange. So, massive W, sure. I don't know. I'm going to stay out of it. Let's go to Mona. Can't trade the USD pair. Looks really good on the 12-hour. You're just now seeing, this is what you want to see. If you missed the Kumo breakout, you're waiting for this. Just this little bit of bullishness, right? You're getting Adam Eve. It's right at the neckline. So it looks really good on 12-hour. And the ETEs, sort of happened as far as the trigger for the entry. And the target's a bit messy. But if we, instead of the edge to edge, if we measure this, we're looking at $9. Doesn't really matter, you can't trade that pair, but that's what you're looking at. I like the USD pairs more for the patterns than the cloud. So that's worth noting, but Mona BTC, again, similar to SIA, where it just kind of didn't really do much and looked like it was rejected, and then it enters the cloud. So we're looking at less than a 2x from here at this point, but target's like 10.5K sats for Mona. Okay, waves. Waves. Can't trade the USD pair. Again, edge to edge trade. Not even gonna bother. You know what that is. Setup is compelling enough where it looks pretty decent there. Versus the BTC pair, not too compelling, not even an Adam Eve. Maybe on a higher time frame, looks like it's good for 2x, but it needs a lot of time. You can see, hopefully that's less compelling than lots of this other stuff as far as entries today right now. It's waves. Golem, didn't Golem move on Coinbase speculation as well? Let's take a look. Yeah. So Golem, BAT, all this stuff. That's why it's kind of not a bad idea to just try to buy some lottery tickets and hope that they get listed on Coinbase eventually. Like ZRX is my lottery ticket, for example. You can see it broke out, returned to the Kiju, and then kept going. That's what you want to see. So again, your buys would have been here. Nothing I want to be in now, though. On the USD pair, BTC pair just went hog wild, very similar to whatever that coin was. I can't even remember at this point. The hypodermic needle chart, the cred. Yeah, that's what it was. Looks just like the cred. Yeah, nothing I want to sit in. Not for me. Storage. Somebody just listed storage. It might have been Bitfinex. Can't trade the USD pair. Active ETE, bullish TK. Looks pretty good from where it's at. To $2, 195 probably. Let's go to Polo, and immediately apparent that this not as compelling of a setup as anything else we've looked at. Pretty messy, just historically and even currently. Just, I don't know, not for me. If I'm trading it, it might be a buy and hold. but not anything I want to look at. Salt USD. This one somebody was talking about just a massive upside on this to like 11.2. The setup is there. It's not active, but it will be shortly. Very nice setup on there. And it looks even better on this. Bullish TK cross entering now. I mean, this is probably the most compelling for an immediate entry compared to anything we've seen besides Bitcoin. Salt, daily E2E. So that looks good. Yeah, I mean that's what you want to see when you want to open a position. Let's look at rep. I think that's the prediction market thing. Rep USD, pretty decent case for edge to edge. You're waiting on bullish TK, 11. That's not bad. As far as the risk reward, I'm just looking at this number here. Yeah, worth setting an alert for. We'll say it like that. Conversion line crossing baseline. I like how all these alerts are just going to trigger one day, because that's how it usually happens. Alts move together. Looks pretty decent on the USD-T pair. Let's check out Polo. Again, nothing compelling. Really messy. Really nasty wicks. Like, what is this? Near historic lows. I don't know. It's just a mess. Definitely not a clean trend. Does not look too compelling to do anything. Just trying to find something here. I don't know. It's in like this down channel. Nothing I want to trade on that pair. ARC. Actually met the ARC team. Nice guys. Who knows what that means for the chart. I can't trade this pair. Come on. Come on. There we go. I don't know why it does that. Again, edge to edge, 2x-ish. And a little less compelling on the daily semi-W ADAMID setup. You can see like V, U, once it reaches past local high, you know, we're talking, it'll move, but who knows where. 12R, pretty compelling for a reversal, but nothing I want to sit into. Pretty messy. KMD USD. 12-hour cloud looks like pretty much everything else does, just starting to turn, and ET looks just like everything else, just starting to turn. Pretty decent setup there. Can't trade the pair though, but a nice suggestion for a move. Interesting. Looks like a failed or moved to stop level ETE. I think it's a pretty good idea to take a gamble on this, just because it is in the cloud. It pulled back. This is what I want to see. Even on Bitcoin, I want to see it pull back to these levels, but your upside is 2x-ish, a little less than 2x. What does it look like on Bittrex? Definitely not as convincing. Alright, scratch that, take that back. This is why when you're taking signals off something with less data, it's a little tough to make that a compelling case. Pretty messy. Yeah, I don't know, just stay out of it. Civic is another one of those things that gives me this gagging reflex in my mouth. Pretty compelling setup for edge to edge on the USD pair. Also compelling, like the pre-SIA breakout type stuff. We're just chilling. Probably looking at 6K sats to 78K sats. A little less than a 2x. Probably just going to leave it alone because it's Civic and Vinny Lingham. Alright, ARDR. Same thing. Pair looks pretty compelling. You can start to see these lower cap stuff sort of all look the same. Bullish TK cross hasn't entered the edge to edge. Let's go to Polo. Pretty nice looking edge to edge setup on ARDR. Target being 9, and the bullish TK is there. pretty nice R&R, 14. This one's worth writing down, ARDR. Okay, and a metal. This one just got listed on Bitfinex the other day. Pretty much a hot mess. Yeah, $8 is the target, 8.3 or something. Can't trade that pair though, so let's check this. And you know, it's pre-breakout. I like this because it is, there's something here. You know, it's just building these pretty convincing case for just a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 instances of higher lows. This volume is probably fake, but whatever. Just see here. So let's just set an alert for this level. You know, if it breaks this level, it's going higher. This is normally like a bearish continuation signal because it's a bear flag pennant thing, but you know, it's new. Things can happen. It's just got listed on somewhere. Whatever. I'll take a look at it when it breaks that level. LBC. Can't trade this pair, but worth checking out. Very similar to everything else on the 12-hour. A little less convincing than most things because the cloud is a little further away from flipping bullish. Pretty convincing. Let's just take a look. Let's zoom way out. Yeah, it's got a ton of data, doesn't it? This is where I should be uploading my videos to the library. They could do themselves a favor by making the experience a little easier. At near historic lows, so I'll give it that. I don't really know what to do with this. I mean, that's your target, 20k sats basically. That's a massive upside. Buying this would be pretty much a lottery ticket as well at the current level. Very kind of like Doge, where it's like, you know, we buy low, we sell higher. Yeah, I know, worth a shot, LBC. Worth a shot. It's at a decent level for massive risk reward, which is why it's just, I don't know. You know, it can go lower, but historically it hasn't. That's why it's a good one. Pay 10x. Again, edge to edge, no bullish TK yet. Okay, can't trade that pair. Let's go BTC. And looks pretty good. Similar to library, kind of. It's got this Adam Eve situation. Probably would wait till it breaks the 200. Let's just set an alert for that. Where are you? Alert. Okay, do I have to do it here? What's going on? I don't know. It's not letting me set an alert, but that's what you want to set an alert for. 200 there. Let's go to GBYTE. Can't trade this pair. Always worth taking a look at though. Very messy. Just not really a trend. Just ranges. And nothing compelling here. Again, historic lows. You can see like the low cap stuff just compared to what's on chain. More or less is just buy the low, sell the high. Just trade the range. There's no real TA for any of this that tells me to do anything. Some sort of edge thing on the 12-hour, but nothing I'd want to be in at the moment. Factum USD. Nice 12-hour setup there. Nice edge-to-edge setup here. Can't trade this, but it looks decent on that pair. I know Factum's got a lot of data. It's got an Adam Eve. Definitely less compelling of a setup than anything. 780,000 sats, maybe eventually, but nothing I want to be in right now. Let's take a look at this. Can't trade this pair, but let's take a look. Decent edge-to-edge setup. One of the better ones because it's at the bottom of the cloud, waiting on a bullish TK. It's got this Adam Eve thing. Another Adam Eve in here. Looks okay. I think Vert was the one on this pair that had an edge-to-edge on the weekly or something. You know, it's so old. It's got lots of data. So use that. Go to a higher time frame. Yeah, this is what I mean when it's a great example. So you get these triggers in these edge-to-edge trades, and it'll wait till the bullish TK, then go, and then, you know, I don't know. It always gets a little less obvious or a little less convincing when it squirrels around too much. You can see it sort of hit the historic high, local high, and pulled back from there. Nothing I want to sit in at the moment. It's got this like micro W Adam Eve situation, but more compelling things to trade elsewhere. Nothing I want to trade there. Ant USD. Not to be confused with Ant shares. Yeah, just a garbly mess. Nothing I wanted. You can't trade. Oh, you can trade that pair, I think, but. And more of the same garbly mess. Nothing. Just, I mean, it looks like there's a trend trying to start, but it's weeks away from doing anything. Game credits. A ton of data on this one. Can't trade the USD pair, but again, edge to edge, less convincing or compelling. Setup is there. Adam Eve type situation. I know they just got listed on some random exchange that has a ton of probably fake volume. What is it? Coin1's like token exchange. I forget the name of it. Something Eros or something. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to stay out of it. Nothing I want to trade. ICN. Only listed on Kraken. Ouch. Talk about a nail in your coffin if you're that coin. Yeah, just a mess. No trend, no nothing. Okay, so it's on Binance for the BTC pair, but the USD pair is listed from Kraken. Yeah, I mean, that's just obviously different than anything else we've looked at. Complete trash from a TA perspective. And the last one, AMC2, actually looks pretty decent on the 12-hour. You can see it had this massive run, slow bleed, and it's begun to bottom out. You got a nice W here, so if it breaks 4,600 sats, it's probably going to hit these three levels eventually. You know, it's going to want to anyway. 52, 88, and 11. So God help you if you sat through all of this, but hopefully gives you some idea of where things are at in my head for analyzing these pretty quickly. I do this really infrequently because in general everything kind of looks the same. But if I don't do a lot of stuff, people just ask me like, what does this look like? What does that look like? You can see pretty clearly you can't trade USD pairs for most of this stuff. You're going to want to pay attention to the BTC pairs. A lot of this stuff looks just like this, edge-to-edge potential. It's just a matter of deploying your capital to the most advantageous setup and highest probability. That's all I have for this one. Like, dislike, share, comment, subscribe. Again, I'll keep the description pretty heavy so that timestamps are in there and whatnot. And happy trading.